All right, let's talk about how a retail giant absolutely dominates one of the toughest markets in the world. We're talking about lifestyle in India. They're not just playing the game, they're writing the rule book. So today, we're going to break down their winning playbook step by step. So here's the big question, right? How do you even begin to compete, let alone win, in India's massive $125 billion fashion market? I mean, it's a total battlefield out there. And the answer isn't luck. It's about having a killer strategy, a playbook that's executed flawlessly. And that's exactly what we're about to dive into.
Okay, so first things first, let's set the scene. You gotta understand, lifestyle isn't just some random store. For millions of people in India, it's a huge part of the retail landscape. It's a flagship brand from the Landmark Group, and they've been around for a while.
So get this, their journey in India kicked off way back in 1999. Fast forward to today, and they've got over 125 stores. But here's where it gets really interesting. They're not just cruising, they're slamming the accelerator. The target is another 50-plus stores by 2028. And the real kicker? They're pushing hard into those smaller Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities. This isn't just about expansion. It's a really smart move to capture the next big wave of Indian shoppers. But you see, you can't understand the strategy without understanding the customer. It's just that simple. So before we get into the nuts and bolts of their playbook, we've got to crack the consumer code. Who exactly is the modern Indian shopper they're targeting? Okay, so their target audience, their sweet spot, is that 18 to 35 age group. We're talking about millennials and Gen Z, the folks who are literally shaping the future of India. They live in cities, they've got aspirations, and they're part of that booming middle class. But here's the tricky part. They want everything. They want the latest global trends, but they also want a connection to their traditions. And on top of that, it has to be affordable and super convenient. Talk about a balancing act. And this is where their slogan just nails it. They don't call themselves a clothing store. No, they are the ultimate lifestyle destination. And that's just brilliant, isn't it? It sounds aspirational, kind of special, you know? But it's also accessible enough that their target customer feels like, yeah, this place is for me. It's a perfect fit. So how in the world did they actually deliver on that big promise? Well, it all boils down to a classic strategy, a four-part playbook that they have absolutely perfected. You guessed it, we're talking about the marketing mix. And just in case you need a quick refresher, the 4 Ps are the absolute fundamentals of marketing, right? Product, price, place, and promotion. Basically, what are you selling? How much does it cost? Where can people buy it? And how do you tell them about it? It sounds simple, but trust me, the magic is all in how you put it together. And this is where lifestyle really shines. Let's look at their playbook in action. For product, they go for massive variety. We're talking over 500 brands, both global and Indian, plus these exclusive collections for big festivals, which is super smart. Then there's price. They keep it competitive, focusing on value. Think great deals and big discounts that people love. For place, they've got a killer hybrid model. You'll find them in all the top malls, but they're also expanding their e-commerce game. And finally, promotion. They pull it all together with big-name celebrities, influencer marketing, and these huge can't-miss campaigns during festive seasons. Okay, so that's the playbook on paper. But what does it actually look like when they put it into action? Let's check out how this all comes together in real-world campaigns that connect with millions of people. This is such a great example of how flexible their strategy is. Check this out. On one side, you've got the classic end-of-season sale. The goal there is pure and simple, sell stuff, right? And boom, it worked, a 25% jump in sales. But then, look at their Diwali campaign, #Dil Se Diwali. This was something totally different. The goal wasn't just sales, it was about creating an emotional connection and getting people physically into the stores. And the result? A huge 35% increase in footfall. 2 completely different approaches, and both were massive successes. And that Diwali campaign's tagline just says it all, doesn't it? Own the night, celebrating heartfelt moments. See, they weren't just selling clothes. They were selling a feeling, the feeling of celebration, of being with family, that joy. And it's that kind of emotional storytelling that builds a connection that's so much deeper than just offering a discount. All right, so it's pretty clear the strategy is working wonders. But let's be real, the Indian retail market never sleeps. It is relentless. So, what's next? What does the future hold for lifestyle? Let's do a quick breakdown. On the one hand, their strengths are obvious. They've got that aggressive omni-channel plan, their emotional ad campaigns are hitting home, and their push into those smaller cities is just brilliant. But there's always a but, right? The challengers are kind of the other side of that success.
They're up against these digital native giants like Myntra and Agio, and the cost of digital ads is just skyrocketing, which makes competing online a tough, expensive game. So, with all those challenges, how do you stay on top? Well, a massive part of the answer is loyalty. Get this, an incredible 40% of their customers are repeat shoppers. Now, that's not just a statistic. That is a solid foundation of revenue built on trust. In a market this fierce, loyalty is like their secret weapon, their defensive moat. And the future looks pretty bright because of that strength. I mean, projections are showing a compound annual growth rate of 15 to 20% all the way through 2030. That's a huge vote of confidence in their game plan for the Indian market. And all of this leaves us with one final big question to think about. We live in a world of fast fashion, where trends come and go in a blink. In that kind of world, can a brand that focuses on heartfelt moments actually build the kind of loyalty that sticks around for the long haul? Lifestyle's betting their entire future that the answer is yes. Something to think about, right?